We're going to turn now to politics. President Trump is up and already tweeting this morning. He and the first family waking up for the first time at Camp David. Here they are boarding Marine One on Saturday for their inaugural visit to the famous presidential retreat. The president and the entire political world will be closely watching a special congressional election coming up this Tuesday. A young Democrat named Jon Ossoff is making a strong showing in a traditionally Republican district. If the Democrats win here, what does that say about the Republicans' chances of holding on to power in the midterms? ABC's David Wright is at the White House for us this morning. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Paula. The president has with him at Camp David the first family and the first in-laws. But the political world grinds on. The president tweeted this morning that his agenda is doing well despite the distraction of the witch hunt. Of course, much of that agenda depends on Republican control of Congress, and that brings us to that congressional seat in Georgia. It's being seen by many as a canary in the coal mine, an early warning for both parties. Georgia 6 is now the most expensive congressional race in American history, pitting Democrat Jon Ossoff
with the whole world watching Georgia right now
against Republican Karen Handel. Between them, the two parties have spent upwards of $40 million.
And we appreciate everything that you have done for us.
The two are running neck and neck in the polls. The seat, held until a few months ago by President Trump's Secretary of Health and Human Services, Tom Price, now being seen as a bellwether in the battle to control Congress.
Which tells me we've got to have a crazy high turnout for election on Tuesday.
Today, a shocking new ad from a political action committee, not from either campaign, capitalizes on the Alexandria shooting at a Republican baseball practice.
Now the unhinged left is endorsing and applauding shooting Republicans. When will it stop? It won't if Jon Ossoff wins on Tuesday.
Ossoff denounced the ad, noting a man is fighting for his life in the hospital right now, and it's shameful to politicize it. Before the shooting, the alleged Alexandria gunman denounced Handel in a Facebook post for this comment she made in the runoff debate.
I do not support a livable wage.
The candidate condemned the shooting as a despicable, unprovoked attack. Her spokeswoman calls the new ad disturbing and disgusting. Well, happily, the weekend brought some good news with respect to Congressman Steve Scalise. He's the congressman who was shot at that baseball practice. Overnight, doctors have upgraded his condition from critical to serious, and he tweeted that he would be up watching LSU play in the College World Series, and LSU won its game. Dan and Paula?
Well, the congressman in good spirits, seemingly. David Wright, thanks for your reporting this morning. We do want to continue the political discussion with ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz, who is hosting this week later this morning. Martha joins us from Washington. Martha, good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so we're talking about that special election in Georgia, and this is a Republican stronghold. But if the Democrats and Jon Ossoff pull off a victory, Martha, how significant would that be?
Well, you know, you heard David right there, bellwether, canary in a coal mine. Everyone looks at this as a big race for Republicans because of the history of the district and how safe that seat has been for them. And surely a loss would be an embarrassment, but this is a very big deal for Democrats as well. Remember, the Democrats have already lost the two other high-profile special elections, so they would be very disappointed with the loss and what effect it might have on fundraising, recruiting, and down-ballot elections, especially with those midterms not all that far away. And this is also a race that is centered on jobs and local issues, not on Donald Trump.
Let's talk for a moment about the USS Fitzgerald. You've covered the U.S. military for a long time. You spent time on naval destroyers. How rare is it to lose life on this kind of ship? And what do you make of those final moments with the cargo ship?
Dan and Paula, it's so horrifying to think of this. The loss of life on a Navy ship, I think, has been decades caused by a collision. We, of course, had the USS Cole back in the year 2000, a great loss of life. That was a terrorist attack. But there just aren't accidents at sea like this, and there really shouldn't be accidents at sea like this because of that sophisticated radar. And I keep thinking of that poor crew in the middle of the night. Those berthing areas are such tight quarters, and to have that container ship hit in the middle of the night, water flooding in, it must have been absolutely terrifying. I think they will probably look at everything that led up to this, how they responded. The captain of the ship, as we know, was injured. Was he in his berthing area, or had he made it up to the bridge? Did they have any indication at all the container ship was about to hit them?
Yeah, we'll find out more when the Navy launches that investigation. Martha, thank you so much for your analysis this morning. We're going to let you go because we know you have a big show coming up on this week. She's going to talk to Trump ally and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich and the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Adam Schiff, on what's next in the Russia investigation. That's all coming up on This Week with Martha.